I'm doing a test run of my very first program. So far so good. I'm still waiting on my extension cord. That should be here in a couple days. When that shows up, we can cut for real. But right now I'm just making sure my program, everything fits inside the limits. Because I did find out that they advertise it as a 36 by 48, but it's really only 33 by 48. Anyways, couldn't figure out why I kept crashing. Now I know why. Anyways, I'm really excited. Those parts might look familiar to some of you. Anyways, it's almost there.
Right up front, am I a Langmuir Systems affiliate? I don't get any money from coupon codes or anything like that. Now, did they give me a discount because I promised to make a video? Yes. So I'm going to put that out there right up front. But it's a one-time, very small discount. And I'm going to give you the good and the bad. All right? I'm not going to get continued revenue if you go out and buy one and use my coupon code. Nope. So I don't care if you go buy one or if you don't go buy one. I'm going to give you my honest opinion of this thing. Now, also, I am a professional machine designer. I get paid every single day to design and build custom automated equipment. So I build custom presses, custom workstations, robotic systems. I design all that kind of stuff. So I'm familiar with what is possible and what is not possible, how much certain aspects of machines cost, and what drives costs and all that thing. So I'm going to be looking at this from a little bit different perspective than a lot of guys. And I'm going to give you my honest opinion of this table. So overall, so far I haven't made any cuts. So we're going to do that, and you'll have to come back. I'm going to do more and more videos, so you'll get to see my opinion over time. This is going to be a lot of my initial just reactions to all of this stuff. So overall, is it hard to put together? No. Their instructions are amazing, okay? Every single bag of bolts and washers, nuts, spacers, the stepper motors, literally everything is labeled. Everything. And it comes with a little, book. You can scan the QR code and it pops up a web page that you can just go through step by step by step. I don't care what your level of mechanical aptitude is, you're going to be able to put this thing together. It's that easy, okay? Anybody can put this together. Now, I did have my 6-year-old help me, and he is a really big help, so you might want another person helping you. It just, sometimes you want somebody to hold up these two posts while you tighten that, or hold the other end of the tape measure. A friend will make this process faster, or your 6-year-old, either one. Overall, the assembly, I'm going to give it 2 thumbs up. Build quality. It's not an expensive machine, okay? Now, for what you're paying for this, there is no room for people to complain about the quality. Is it going to be up there with, the Lincoln, I forget what they call it, but they've got a line, or the Bailey? It's not going to be, okay? It does not have linear rails. It doesn't have ball screws. It has lead screws. But at least it has lead screws. It could have a belt drive, That'd be way worse than lead screws. And the ball screws do have polymer ball nuts, but I can tell you there are polymers out there with wear resistance that is mind-blowingly good. Before I was a machine designer, I designed aerospace products, and I designed specifically seals. And I can tell you there are polytetrafluoroethylenes that have fillers in them that will ruin a carbide shaft. So if they have the right polymers, I'm not worried about them being plastic. They're quiet, they're smooth, there's no backlash. They have a self-adjusting nut on the actual lead screw. Let me show you some of these things. Okay, so right there you can see it's a spring-loaded some type of collar, and the lead screw nut is actually split. So it's tapered. So the spring always keeps it tight. So even as this wears, it will continue to stay tight, and you won't have a backlash. Overall, it's machined well. Mine had a little bit of run out. I mean, you get a little bit of wobble, so they're not high dollar lead screws. And their bearing configuration here, this is not like a precision tube, okay? It's just a piece of tube. So it's good to, like, it comes with a break-in program, which basically goes from there to there and back and forth, and kind of breaks it in. But this is better than some of the stuff I've seen. I would take this any day over the the ones that have just a little tiny rail with a V, the V groove wheels on the rail. Those are crap. I would definitely this is decent for the price you're paying. You get this. I mean, and look, you got the distance between here and here. That gives you lots of leverage, which equals rigidity, which equals precision. This is, man, these guys really figured out how to make a rigid machine that's very inexpensive, and they have a lot of thought into this because the level of detail on their work instructions is top notch. This right here, it is isolated. It has a plastic spacer in between, so you don't have to worry about it being damaged. I wish maybe they had like another bracket, because when you're plugging stuff in and out, I'm afraid I'm gonna like ruin it or something. Overall, I need to zip tie it. It comes with Velcro straps. I'm a fan of the zip ties, so I switched. Now you got to make sure you don't crush your wires with zip ties. I did add the loom, which I'm a fan of. What else? I know a lot of people end up upgrading. Oh, you probably can't see. It's dark under here. It just comes with a drain plug. You can put a bucket under there, no problem. I don't care. A lot of people I've seen plumb that, and they put pumps and everything. You can do that. The thing is, because this is kind of like a DIY hobbyist table, there is huge community support for it. And that's another thing that I really love about the Langmuir Systems CrossFire Pro is the community support. Because this thing, primary target users are DIY guys just like me and you. There's a huge community of people building add-ons. Like, people got shelves on the bottom. I've seen all kinds of cool stuff added. I mean, they even have in the community where you can download, all kinds of cut files. People have designed up the laptop holder so you don't have to buy it. You can make your own. What else? I did get the torch height controller. I would highly, highly recommend the torch height controller, which is not that. That's just the Z-axis. That's just the Z-axis. Torch height controller is this little box right there on the side of your plasma cutter. The reason I would highly recommend that is because you can see, well, maybe you can't see, but this brand new piece of sheet metal is warped. It's got a high spot. So if you don't have a torch height controller, your cuts are going to be inconsistent here versus here, okay? So you definitely want to spend the extra money and get the torch height controller. Also, I think it's definitely worth getting, the Pro versus, the other one, because it's, I mean, not only is it bigger, but you have a second lead screw, you have a second bearing, you're going to get way more rigidity, and it's going to equal higher quality cuts. Overall, this thing is not very heavy, but they have the large gussets on the sides and the ends. It ends up being very rigid machine. Stepper motors, they're tiny, but honestly, you've got two of them. You got one over there and one over there, so they don't have to be large. The mass they're moving is very small, and it's not moving that fast. 300 inches per minute, rapid speeds, and honestly, when you're cutting, you don't need to go faster than that. Not on a machine like this. I've used the Razor Weld, what is it called? Razor Weld 45, just by hand, because it came a couple months before this did, and so it worked great. Now, let's get to some of the negatives. If you order one of these, it's going to take a long time for it to come, all right? I mean, like months plural. And that's because everybody loves it so much and it's priced so low that you literally have to get in line, a long line, to get one. So just plan on that. Also, in order, to keep people excited and not, have people getting all depressed about, oh, it's taking forever, they do piecemeal you all of the parts. So they'll send you piece by piece by piece, and eventually, months later, you get it all. And I feel bad for them because that wastes a lot of money on their part, when they could just put all of it on one pallet and just make us all wait. But they do go out of their way to, I guess, try to give you little breadcrumbs to keep you excited. Also, I was missing this Z-axis assembly, so I then had to wait another week after everything came and I was halfway done assembling. I was missing my Z-axis assembly, which you kind of need it. Or no, not my Z. This right here, this whole assembly right here, I didn't get. So I had to let them know. Now I have to say, to their credit, yes, they forgot to put it in a box, but I got no hassle when I contacted them. I said, hey, I didn't get this, and right away, the next morning, first thing, I had an email with they said, no problem, we're really sorry, here's another one, it'll be on the way as soon as possible. And I got it fairly quickly. So they didn't give me any grief, and they made it right. And so I got to give them props to that. I've dealt with some people in customer service who really, wouldn't give you the benefit of the doubt. They'd run you through the ringer. And these people, they did not do that. So overall, it's smooth. We're going to do some cuts. Now, because the community out there, there are some people that have posted feeds and speed charts. That's another negative. Langmuir Systems, come on guys, how long have you been selling this thing? You at least should have a base starting point chart for feeds and speeds for the plasma cutter that you include. I understand they sell this entire machine in a configuration that allows you to use your own plasma cutter. So their chart would be irrelevant to all plasma cutters other than their own, or the one that they provide. But at least you could provide a chart of starting points with a big, you could have a big disclaimer saying, hey, not all plasma cutters are the same. Everybody's setup is going to be slightly different. So this is a good starting point. At least give people a starting point. The fact that you have to go out on the internet, beg, borrow, and plead for people to give you their feeds and speed settings for what they found to work well. I mean, come on guys, you spent so much time putting together that amazing building instructions. Can't you take just a little bit more time and give us all the information as far as, hey, I'm cutting 3/16. How fast should I go? How much air pressure should I go? What type of nozzle should I use? And they do tell you how to get replacement nozzles, but there's talk of other people using hypotherm nozzles and different nozzles and blah blah blah. Anyways, come on, give us some feeds and speeds to start with. That would be very helpful. But overall, I am really excited about this machine. Super excited. So is what I'm going to do. I've got some feeds and speeds from some guys online who are very nice, and I'm going to take and I'm going to make a 1-inch square with a 1/4-inch hole. Now a 1/4-inch hole is going to be tough to pull off with it actually being circular in this material. That's my opinion. I think it's going to be hard. So I'm going to play with my lead in and my lead out, my plunge, my plunge pause. What do they call it? I can't think of the lingo. I'm kind of new to this. Basically, you punch through, and the amount of time it delays. Somebody help me out here in the comments. Anyways, I'm going to mess with all my different timings in my tool path so I can get that perfected. And I'm going to measure each block, right? So I've got about this, 8 inches of this piece that I can waste in setup and getting everything figured out. And I'm just going to do a whole bunch of 1-inch blocks. I'm going to do a 1-inch block with a 1/4-inch hole, and I'm going to measure it. And I'm going to do more and more and more and more and more. Okay? And then once I get everything set up, I'm going to cut out a belt grinder. Ta-da! So I was just about to hit the go button on the very first cut ever and realized I had no water in the table, which would not have been the end of the world, but I decided, come on, let's put our best foot forward. So I have no idea if this is even going to work. Never made a cut before. Here goes nothing. I feel like my feed rate's probably way too fast, but this is what I was told online.
this. I'm clearly not penetrating because it's blowing. All the sparks should be going through, but I was going too fast, I think. Okay, so I slowed it down to 50%. I'm gonna hit the same path. Okay, it's a very smooth cut, but it has a lot of angle on it. I'm gonna try to slow it down even more. I mean, that's very little. I mean, that can be hit on the belt sander really easily. The hole is pretty round. I mean, definitely acceptable. I still have a little bit of slag. And I have a little bit of angle still. Let's slow it down a little bit more.
Alright, so overall I cut like 4 pieces, and I realized, yeah, the settings that I was given online, the kerf was pretty good, but the feed rate was like way off. I'm running at 30%, but I got there, and this thing's amazing. So I'm gonna cut myself a belt grinder. Also, if you like this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. And also, if you subscribe, it's very important that you click all notifications. There for a while, I got hit really hard because I was doing pew pew videos where they basically took out everybody that had said notifications. All that got deleted. You're still a subscriber, but you don't get notifications. So, if you are a subscriber, go back, turn off your notifications, and then turn them back on, because you're not going to be notified because of that. So anyways, I love you guys. Thanks for watching. I'll see you later.